Hello art beaters, I've got a brand new video for you today and I'm so excited to share some beautiful jewelry inspiration with you. Today we're taking a look at clasps and all the different kinds that you can use to finish your jewelry designs. Sometimes clasps are the last thing you think about when designing jewelry, but sometimes maybe it should be the first thing. So we're taking a look at all of the kinds of different clasps that we have at artbeats.com and how you can use them in your jewelry. I'll be sharing some inspiration from our design studio, and you can find those jewelry designs with free instructions and a supplies list there. So let's take a look at all of the pretty clasps. We have tons of clasps available at artbeats.com, and there's so many different ways you can use them in your jewelry. So many beautiful options. And like I said earlier, sometimes you're working on a design and you're focused on the front and on the beads, that the clasp is kind of the last thing you think about. But sometimes maybe it should be the first, because it can change how the design ends up, and sometimes it can really influence the overall design. So let's take a look at the different clasps that you can use in your jewelry designs. So first up, we've got toggle clasps. Toggle clasps have a loop component and a bar component, and they fit really easily into each other for easy opening and closing, and they're really nice artistic looking clasps, and you can use those on necklaces and bracelets with chain beads. You can stitch them in. This is a Russian spiral stitch bracelet that the clasp was just stitched right on. This is a bead links necklace, and the clasp was just attached with jump rings to the end of the bead links chain. But you can also use toggle clasps at the front of a design because they are artistic. So maybe you want to showcase that at the center of your design. So I used this tiara cast toggle clasp. Hi, Sylvia. I use this tiara cast toggle clasp at the center of this design because it has extra loops on the ring component. So I used it to add dangles to the front of my necklace. So you can open and close that necklace right from the front. So that's a really cool design use. So this is a popular answer for what clasp you guys like to use. Toggle is up there for me too, but I think by far the most popular option was lobster clasps. So these are called lobster clasps because they do look like little lobster claws. You can also call them trigger clasps because you kind of pull down on this like a trigger, and that opens the clasp. So these are really secure, pretty easy to use. What's nice about these is it's a really versatile design, so it's going to work with a lot of different styles. Whereas something like a toggle, you're going to want to pick the perfect toggle for the style you're working with. But this one, it kind of is all purpose. It'll work with a lot of different styles, and it works for necklaces and bracelets alike, and comes in lots of different sizes. And what's great about lobster clasps is you can use it with extender chains too. So that's really nice as well. So you can add an extender chain. Could be linked jump rings or just, a small length of chain. You can add that to the end of your design. This is especially useful for bracelets, and that gives you an adjustable length. So you can hook that lobster clasp to any of those rings on the extender chain. So here is another lobster clasp. It's used on this chain, but you can use it in beaded designs to crimp it to your beaded designs. And you will find those clasps come in. The classic shape is the shape I've been showing you, like this, but we do have some fun shapes like little hearts like this one. So let's see how this opens. There, like that. So that's a fun shape. So really great option for all kinds of different styles. I know that's one of your guys' favorites because that was a overwhelming majority in the response of what's your favorite clasp type to use. Another popular option is magnetic clasps. Magnetic clasps are super easy to use. They're little magnets, so really easy to open and close, take on and off, and they're pretty strong too. And these are another one where there's a lot of simple looking clasps that will match a lot of styles, like these smooth round clasps. Again, super strong, easy to use. But then you can find different types of magnetic clasps that you can maybe stylize a little more. This one is a rhinestone studded magnetic clasp that works really well with the elegant look of this peyote stitch bracelet. Super cute. Yeah, if you're coming in late, don't worry. This video will be available to watch on replay. You can go back and see, and I have links to everything I'm showing here in the video description, and that includes links to the Gardan beads items I was showing earlier. Someone just asked that. So if you like anything you see here, I've got links to all of the jewelry. All of this jewelry is featured in our design studio with free instructions and a supplies list for making them yourself. So head to those links to find these pieces on our website, and I do have a link to where you can shop clasps at artbeads.com. Yeah, decorative toggles are a lot of fun. I love them too, Beverly. They're super fun. Helos clasps, these are another type of magnetic clasp, but it is its own kind of little clasp system, so I thought I'd mention it. I talked about these a little last week, but they are magnetic clasps, and the cool thing about these is they feature slots on the ends that work with these tubes. So what you do is you make your jewelry strands and you insert them, and these are all tangled up. You insert them into the tubes, and then you can slide the tubes into the clasp in different orders so you can create interchangeable style, and then the clasp holds them all together. So really great system there, the Helos clasp system. We have more videos on how to use those on our YouTube channel as well. Hook and eye clasps. These are kind of similar to toggle clasps where they're super easy to use. So it comes with a hook and it comes with an eye. So the eye is the little loop component. The hook here, super easy to hook on and off. I like to use hook and eye with more delicate chain, like something like this on this beautiful necklace with that lovely Swarovski pendant at the center. Super easy to use, especially with a necklace. Often when I wear a necklace, the clasp is on the back of your neck, and I will, when I go to take it off or on, I'm working on the back of my neck so I can't see. So something like this is really easy to use. Super fun there. We have ball chain connectors. So ball chain connectors are little clasps for ball chain, and they are really secure. So they work with the balls. All you have to do is kind of pinch this, and then the ball comes right out of that. And then to put it back on, you slide that ball into the slot and then kind of push down, and it snaps into place on that ball chain connector. And we do have a video for how to do that. I think it features a bigger ball chain connector than this, so it's easier to see. But that's super easy to use, and that's really secure for wearing. Great for wearing like every day, because this is not going to come undone easily. So if you want to wear something long term, that's the way to go. This is often used for dog tags in the military. So that's what they use for those. Very functional as well as stylish. Box clasps. Box clasps come in all sizes, all styles, but essentially they're kind of a box-shaped mechanism with this little piece that slides right in and then kind of snaps into place. So we have all kinds of different box clasps. This is a very large one, and you know how I said earlier where sometimes the clasp can kind of inform the rest of your design? I would say that's definitely the case here. This clasp is the focal of this bracelet, and it kind of draws the eye and then allows you to add all of those strands, because it is also a multi-strand clasp. So sometimes the clasp is the beginning of your inspiration, the beginning of your jewelry design. So that's a box clasp, a really big box clasp. But we also have smaller ones too. Beautiful wedding piece though. Gorgeous. We also have all kinds of clasps for cord and leather. Glue and go clasps. They come with these little end caps that you just glue your cord into, and the clasp is already attached here. We've got a Lobster clasp attached to the end of that glue and go clasp. We've got Regalese clasps where the clasp is perfectly made to fit Regalese leather, round leather like this and flat leather like this, and they come in all kinds of different fun styles. So that's an option for cord. We've got great cord clasps. We've got even more clasps on the next tray. Fold over clasps are a lot of fun. So they kind of have the same, feel to me as box clasps, but they're a little different. So this is a fold over clasp. Oops, I have the wrong side, I think. And so the little mechanism, it's kind of like a little snap-in mechanism, and it just kind of folds over the rest of the clasp, and then you push down to secure in place. So it's quite literally a fold over. And that's really beautiful. Again, this makes a really nice accent. This piece is sparkly and matches the rest of the sparkle in the necklace, and also accents those floral focals at the center. So really nice. Again, super easy to use. And it's really secure too. This guy is not going to go anywhere. So that's a fold over clasp. We have several different styles of that. Lariat loops is another way to go for your designs. A lariat closure is kind of an adjustable closure. So lariats typically don't have a traditional clasp per se, but the lariat loop allows you to adjust that opening of the necklace and slip it over your head. And you can use jump rings here or little links and connectors for your lariat. But we also do have beautiful silver lariat loops that are a hoop shaped with a smaller loop for attaching to your designs that are made for lariats specifically. So this cute little chain lariat features just a jump ring as the lariat. And then this one features a fun infinity link for the lariat loop. And the chain kind of threads through that infinity shape, and then it ends with a pretty crystal drop. So lariats are another fun kind of closing mechanism for your jewelry designs, and that's really going to switch up your style, switch up your design. Then we have multi-strand clasps. Again, lots of different styles here. This is a popular multi-strand clasp. It's a tube clasp, and it has multiple rings. And these come in different sizes. You can have 3 rings, 4 rings, like this one, 5 rings, maybe more. You can stitch onto it. You can do multiple strands of bead stringing. And these are really easy to open and close. Really nice. Really nice to use there. This is another multi-strand clasp. Again, this is like I think this would be a box clasp technically. Where's the mechanism? There it is. Yeah, so this is technically a box clasp, but it's also a multi-strand clasp, and it's also a cameo. So really beautiful. Again, another clasp that is a focal, and it does have multiple loops, so you can create multi-strand designs. But I think that's a really beautiful, really classic multi-strand clasp. So cute. And then I did want to mention this multi-strand connector. This is another fun little clasp mechanism. So it has these 2 ends that come together, and you slide your strands on, and this will give you interchangeable styles. So you can slide on different jewelry strands, mix up your strands, create a layered look. So that's really fun. Really fun way to get all of your strands together. And then you can add the clasp of your choice to that. And then when you're wearing like layered necklaces, if they're all on this, you just have to worry about undoing that clasp at the top. You don't have to worry about, undoing all of those different necklace layers. So that's really cool. That's a fun one. Pearl clasps. Pearl clasps are traditionally used with pearls. You might recognize this clasp style on a lot of antique pearl jewelry. This is the type of clasp that's going to be used. And this one is kind of like a hook clasp. So what you do is you pinch that little thing, and then the hook comes down, and then you take the hook out of the clasp. So that's a really secure and elegant piece, especially for your pearl jewelry. It's traditionally used with pearls. Then you just hook it back in and then slide it back in and it will snap into place. Really pretty. I love how that looks with pearls. It's just a really classic, traditional look. Super cute. We have S-clasps and swivel clasps as well. So S-clasps are really fun. I would say this is another good one for multi-strand pieces. You can add multiple strands on there. This one's easy to slip on and off. I think this would be another good option for interchangeable jewelry. Really elegant shape to it as well. And then swivel clasps are great for pieces that need a little more movement. So you've got that swivel mechanism on the end of the clasp. That's going to give you a lot of movement. So that's really nice too. Super fun. Spring rings, that is a classic one. I like to use spring rings with more delicate chain. This is a very delicate chain and necklace with, you know, little delicate accents and pendant on the front. So spring rings are very small, little round clasps. You push and then you can get that jump ring through that gap there. And what's nice about this spring ring is it kind of gives your necklace like a continuous look. This is a very inconspicuous clasp, so the design just flows all the way around. So that's a really nice option for something that you want to flow or keep the focus on the delicate aspects of the design. We also have string-on clasps. These are very exciting. These have a little silicone grommet in the center so you can slide. So it was used here in this kind of bolo type necklace. So you can slide that to make the necklace shorter and your dangles longer. And also great for adjustable bracelet designs. So thread the leather or the cord in opposite directions through that string-on clasp and you can slide and adjust to get it on and then secure it when you're wearing. So really great string-on clasps, make it easy. And then we have all kinds of other kind of miscellaneous clasps. We just got in this horseshoe clasp, which is really cool. Love the shape of it. This is a clasp in itself. I did use it with some lobster clasps just for some fun variety, but this piece screws off, so you can use it as a clasp itself. So you could attach the end of your chain to the loop on this little piece, and then you would have a necklace that easily opens and closes with that horseshoe clasp. But in this design, I wanted to use that loop for my little dangle, so I paired it with some lobster clasps. Super fun shape. This is really trendy right now, so definitely check out that horseshoe clasp. This one again is technically a box clasp. It's got the, well, yeah, it would be a box clasp. Kind of like a mix between a box clasp and a pearl clasp because it's got that little hook feature. But again, this is another clasp that you would probably showcase at the front of your design because this would make a beautiful pendant and a necklace. So beautiful. So I love when the clasp is kind of hidden in a focal like that. And then this is kind of another variation on hook clasps. We've got these fun, I would call them like almost strap clasps. You could fold like flat leather over that and rivet it. You could seed bead over this and then stitch the folded seed bead strip back onto itself for a fun little seed bead design. So that's another variation on hook clasps. So we have lots of different clasps for you to use and discover at artbeads.com. There's so many different ways to use all of these beautiful clasps. Make sure to shop them all. We've got lots of different options for you, more than even what you've seen here, but these are some of the basic categories of clasps, and I do have a link for you to shop all of those clasps at artbeads.com in the video description, and links to all of the jewelry I showed you here today because all of these pieces are in our design studio as well. I hope all of this information on clasps was helpful to you. Please let me know if you have any more questions about clasps in the comments, or feel free to let me know what your favorite clasp is to use. As always, make sure to leave a like and leave a comment and subscribe so you're the first to know when our next video is out. See ya and have fun!